They say history is written by the victors. But what about the stories too strange to record, too miraculous to believe, too dangerous to preserve? My name is Lucien Moreau. I was born in the year 1509 in the city of Lyon, France. And I witnessed time itself stop. Not metaphorically, not in a dream or vision or fever. I mean time, literal flow of seconds, rhythm of life, invisible river that carries us all forward. It stopped, and somehow I kept going. This is not a tale you'll find in any book. No scholar dares include it. No priest would admit it. But I swear to you, every word is true. I was 23 when it happened. An apprentice clockmaker under Monsieur Belloy, an aging genius with a long beard, a shorter temper, and ideas too wild for even the Renaissance. While others built towers and paintings, he built something else. Time is not just motion, he told me once as we wound a cathedral bell tower. It's a living current. And clocks, they don't measure time. They steal it. I thought he was mad. But I loved my craft. The gears, the metals, the balance of precision and mystery. Our shop smelled of oil and brass and echoed with ticking day and night. We repaired town clocks, built sun dials, crafted pocket watches for nobles who had no idea how they worked. But beneath the shop, in a sealed chamber, we were building something no one had seen before. He called it Le Cœur du Temps, the heart of time. It wasn't shaped like a normal clock. No face, no numbers. Instead, it had 12 rotating rings of metal orbiting a glowing blue orb. The runes engraved into it weren't Roman or Greek or even Egyptian. I asked him once what they were. He said, pre-time, whatever that meant. On a frostbitten morning in December, he came to me looking pale and exhausted. Tomorrow, he said, tomorrow we test it. Noon exactly, the solstice. We barely slept. I polished the rings until they gleamed like mirrors. The mechanism inside, a spider web of brass and crystal, hummed softly like it was alive. And then noon came. We stood before the heart. I held the key, silver, carved with the same ancient script. I hesitated. Turn it, he said. The key slid in. My hand shook. The light from the stained glass windows struck the heart. I turned the key. Silence, not quiet. Total, impossible silence. The ticking stopped. Not just the heart's ticking, every sound in the city. No bells, no footsteps, no wind, no birds. I looked toward the window, and the birds were frozen in midair, 3 of them wearing spread, hovering like statues. I ran outside. I didn't believe it. I couldn't. The streets were still. A boy stood in the middle of the road, mid-laugh, his eyes fixed on a dog that hadn't finished jumping. The smoke from a chimney stood frozen in the sky like gray glass. A cart horse had one hoof raised, suspended in place. The driver behind him, mouth open, eyes wide, unmoving. Everything was still, except me. I shouted, "Dot nothing." I ran from house to house, grabbed shoulders, shook people. It didn't blink. They didn't breathe. Not even my master. Back in the shop, I was completely, utterly alone in a world paused. Hours passed, maybe more. There was no sun to move, no clocks to tick. I walked to the cathedral and climbed the bell tower. I thought maybe if I rang the bell, something would restart. But even when I struck it, nothing. No echo. Just the feeling of the impact in my hands. And then I heard it. A faint ticking. Not from below, from above. The bell tower had no more stairs at the top. Behind an old wooden panel, I found a strange door. I had passed that panel 100 times. It was never a door before, but now it was open. Behind it was a staircase spiraling upward, impossibly far, too far. I climbed and climbed until the air grew cold and thin, and then I stepped into a chamber that could not exist. It was like standing in the middle of a pocket-sized galaxy. Gears the size of houses floated around me, turning in silence. Stars sparkled behind glass walls. An orrery hung in midair, showing planets I'd never seen, moons I didn't recognize. Time wasn't being measured here. It was being controlled. And then she appeared. A woman in silver robes, skin like polished marble, and eyes that shimmered like moonlight on water. Her voice was calm, ancient. It turned the heart. She said, "You disrupted the flow." I asked her where I was, who she was. What had I done? You open a wound, she said. Time is a stream. A heart was a dam. And you have cracked it. I begged her to help me. I didn't mean to. I was just doing what I was told. She studied me for a long time, then said, "You're still flowing because you touched the key." Few ever do. Fewer survive. She raised her hand. A ring appeared. A simple silver band with a tiny rotating dial. She offered it to me. "This will let you walk through frozen time. But there is a cost." "What cost?" "You will age. The world will not. And if you stay too long in the space between, you will vanish. You will become a forgotten second and a forgotten hour." I hesitated. "Why me?" "Because," she said, "you're not trying to control time, only understand it." I took the ring, slipped it onto my finger, and then I turned the key back. The noise returned like a thunderclap. The birds flew. The smoke drifted. The cart horse stepped forward, and my master gasped, falling to one knee. "Lucien," he cried. "What happened? Did it work?" "You disappeared." I looked at him, at the heart, at the ticking clocks all around me. "It didn't work," I lied. He nodded, disappointed. "We covered the machine, locked it away." He died 5 years later, never knowing the truth. But I did, and I still do. Over the years, I noticed things. My hair grayed slower. My heart beat differently. I could feel moments before they happened. Sometimes I would slip the ring on and step out, just for a moment, to watch the world freeze around me. I saw people frozen in sorrow, in joy, in mid-confession. I saw lightning stuck mid-strike, raindrops floating like glass beads, lovers kissing for eternity. And over time, I began to understand. Time isn't just a line. It's a tapestry, woven, rewoven, tangled. Some threads snap, some fray, but some, like mine, go sideways. I have walked through centuries. I have seen kings and tyrants, revolutions and renaissances. I was there when the clock struck midnight in 1600, and I was there when they stopped again briefly in 1812. Yes, it's happened before. And each time, someone like me is chosen to walk the seconds alone. We are the guardians of the pause. Few. Silent. Forgotten. Until now. Why am I telling you this? Because I feel it happening again. Something is wrong with the flow. The air tastes off. The ticks come faster, then slower. And last night, when I looked at my pocket watch, the second hand stopped and winked at me. If you see time stutter, even once, remember my name, Lucien Moreau. I was just a clockmaker's apprentice, but I turned the key. And now, I keep the rhythm when the world forgets how to dance. If you found this tale worth the time, subscribe. There's more than just history. There are hidden seconds waiting to be told. Until next time, listen closely. You just might hear the pause between ticks.